Is up, everyone? How are we today? This is week 9 scouting report with Jeff Needs Sports podcast. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here. We're about a day late this week, but I think we can all agree it's not been the most average week. So we'll move on from that. I want to thank everybody that's here. I want to thank everybody that supported me in the last week on the Off the Ball Network website. The ratings are going great, and the NFL and the college rankings are going good. So just want to say I appreciate what everybody's doing, all the support, all the views, all the interaction, everything. Really good week. So here we go. Week 9. This is what we're looking at, what we're looking forward to, and we'll start with the NFL. First of all, Ravens Colts, huge game. Ravens coming off a real tough loss last week. We all, everybody saw that big matchup against Pittsburgh, took it right down to the wire. I personally thought that they played better than other people did. I'm not if you win, you're the best team ever. If you lose, you're the worst team ever kind of guy. I think Lamar Jackson's taking a little more heat than he needed, but, he's the, reigning MVP. It was one of the best teams in the league. He's going to. He made a couple huge mistakes that probably did cost him the game. So, but anyway, it's a big the Colts are kind of getting it together, righted the ship after a few weeks ago when everybody thought Phillip Rivers headed for retirement. They're looking really good. The defense is strong. This will be a huge test for the Ravens offense and the Colts defense. That's this game. That's what it's all about. We know the Ravens defense will show up and they'll be stout. They're probably going to give Phillip Rivers problems. He's kind of a stationary quarterback like they did Ben last week. So it's going to be interesting. But the winner of this game puts themselves in really good shape for the wild card, and the loser, by no means are they done. But then you got to start that uphill climb in the NFL, and so it's going to be interesting. So. Sorry about that. Next, Bears-Titans. Huge game. Two teams that were on fire for the most, first weeks of the season. Looked really good. The Bears have fallen off the last couple of weeks. Their record's fine. They went from the number 1 seed down to, last couple games in a row, and their offense didn't look good really in the process. So they're reeling a bit right now. It looks like Green Bay's came back to the pack a little. Injuries and COVID have taken a toll on them. So the Bears are by no means out of that division. But this is a huge game for both teams. Titans coming off let's call it a terrible loss to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's an upcoming team. Burrow looks really good, but Titans can't lose that game. So that was a real tough one. So this is another one of those. A couple teams that really need to get back on schedule if they're going to be playoff contenders for sure. So. It definitely matters. This was, we got Seahawks versus the Buffalo Bills. Interesting game. Both teams are in good shape. Both teams are good. Now the Bills have come back to reality a little bit after the first maybe 4 weeks of the season. Allen has cooled off quite a bit from the MVP start that he had, but they are winning. The defense is legit. Seattle's kind of the opposite. Their defense gives up a ton of yards. A ton of yards. And points too, coming off, they had a nasty loss to Arizona, a bad look mostly, strangely because of their defense and a mistake by Russell Wilson, but they're still a quality team. This is a test for both teams, for sure, that have Super Bowl hopes. Both these teams have Super Bowl hopes, aspirations, if you will, if I can use that term. Can we say aspirations on here? I think that's too long of a word for Jeff. Big test. Just one of those, big, two good teams, Super Bowl preview type of game. I don't know how else to say it. And then there's really fun one. Arizona and the Dolphins play. Tua versus Kyler. It's great. Two really young, exciting quarterbacks. We assume, if we don't know if Tua is going to be exciting yet, but he's definitely intriguing. These guys are roughly the same age. And both, huge, exciting quarterbacks coming out of college. The Dolphins look like the defense and the special teams looked awesome last week. Tua didn't even really have to play to win that game, which was kind of amazing. This is huge for him against an Arizona defense. It's they gave Russell Wilson fits, and I don't think anybody thinks that Tua is a Russell Wilson category yet. So interesting. Both these teams are on fire. Both are young. The rosters are young and exciting. So this is really fun game to watch. And believe it or not, the Dolphins are in playoff the running, and they got hopes. It's amazing. So it's just a fun game to watch. You know what I mean? This one here, Steelers Cowboys. If you know anything about the NFL, if you love the NFL, you know these two teams are huge brands. They do not like each other. The history is there. You know, the couple Super Bowls. You know, I think they played 3 Super Bowls against each other. 2 of the biggest fan bases in the world of anything. Cowboys are a complete train wreck right now. I don't think they know who's going to play quarterback this week. There's rumors that they're bringing back Bernie Kosar, and it's possible. The Steelers are undefeated. Can they go undefeated? There's a real chance if you look at their schedule, they can go undefeated. So this is just one of those eyeballs because of the brands, because of the names on the field. You know, you have an opinion on both these teams. Like if you're like me, you want to see them both lose. Some people, nobody doesn't have an opinion on this game. Really, really, really exciting. Here's one. You know, here's one for the ages here. 2 legendary quarterbacks face off. The Buccaneers and the Saints play. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. These guys they're trading the touchdown passing record like every other week. You know, it changes hands. I think Brady has it right now. He's having a pretty good run. The Buccaneers, but more importantly, the Buccaneers want to win the South. Saints look like this thing is held together with duct tape and chicken wire at this point. The offense looks atrocious. The ball doesn't seem to be in the air more than 2 or 3 yards downfield on any given pass. Really different looking Saints offense than we're used to. The Buccaneers are quite the opposite. They look really good. They eked one out against New York last week, which was amazing. A lot of people would argue that game should have been tied at the end with the non-PI call. So this is a huge game for this division. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that, and also, you're watching legends. I would like to see them both play well and, have an historic game, but the time will tell. But yeah, it's definitely one we're all going to watch or keep up with. Let's put it that way. All right, let's move over to the NCAA. Let's move over to college football. Kind of my wheelhouse here. BYU Boise State. I believe it's Friday night. This game is important because this is BYU's last quote unquote test. It's the last ranked team they'll play on their schedule. They're rolling right now. If you look at my college playoff power rankings, I have them on in with a chance to make the playoffs, but they have to look great. This game, they have to look really good because this is it. This is the only time this is the closest thing they have to a Power 5 team. They don't have one on their schedule this year. Boise State's, I think, 21st actually in the AP poll. BYU has to look good. They get the Friday game, by themselves. They get all the eyeballs that they can get against everybody. Boise State's a name brand regardless of where they're at, what conference they're in. So this is huge for BYU. They look really good here, and then they run the table. They could possibly, them and Cincinnati can start arguing for that playoff spot for a non-Power 5 team that we've been waiting on. I don't see it happening, but this is it. They got to look good in this one. So great quarterback out there too. It's a fun game. Just a fun game. And then one of my favorite rivalries in all of sports. Florida, Georgia, I still call it the world's largest cocktail party. This is always, I know this year you know what? I don't know what's going to happen down there. It might still be this year's biggest cocktail party, but it's a big game for both. The losers out of the playoff run. Florida and Georgia both Georgia's already lost to Alabama, but they could work their way into a rematch. The winner of this basically in the driver's seat to get a shot at Alabama at the end. Alabama's just playing lights out right now. But this is definitely a playoff elimination game. Losers out, regardless of how good. So what a great game for us to get. Though there'll be some fans there, which makes the game more exciting. Whether you agree or disagree with that, they're going to be there, and it adds to it. So just a historic rivalry. It's a beautiful looking game in Jacksonville. I think it's still in Jacksonville this year. I don't know what the details have changed. I should have looked into that, but historically. So a lot of fun and huge ramifications, huge college football ramifications. Speaking of that, we got 1 versus 4. We got Clemson versus Notre Dame. Now Clemson is without Trevor Lawrence again because of the protocols put in place for COVID. From what I hear, he's perfectly healthy right now. It's the protocols are in place. It's just how it is. It stinks for Clemson, I understand, but this is what we had to do to play this season. This is giant game for the winner is in a great position to. Chances are there's going to be a rematch if it goes the way we think, but the winner is in position for a locked in playoff spot. And the good news is they will get another shot probably at the winner. I know it sounds crazy, but these two teams there'll probably be a rematch at the end of the season if everything goes well. And it may be, with Trevor Lawrence. I think Notre Dame has to win more because Trevor Lawrence is out. They need to win this game, because if they lose this and Clemson doesn't have Lawrence, they're going to have a tough argument late in the season with Lawrence back. But Clemson takes the loss. They've I won't say it's an excuse. It's a reason. If your Heisman, contending quarterback is out, that's a legitimate reason if it's a close game. So, but it's giant. And Notre Dame's an quote unquote ACC team this year. Makes it a little more exciting. So it's a conference game, a straight conference game. But yeah, it's it'll really be a lot of fun. And Clemson's freshman quarterback, I will not attempt to say his last name. I think it's yep. I'm not sorry about the camera. It does this every now and then. If it goes out, we will correct it. I really apologize for that. It's embarrassing. So anyway, we'll move on here before my camera gives out on us. But yeah, Clemson, Notre Dame, must watch. Michigan, Indiana, this is big. Michigan took that early loss against Michigan State. They looked so good week 1. Indiana's undefeated. Indiana, if I've said it there, if you look at my college playoff rankings again, Indiana wins out, they're in the playoff because they're going to get 2 shots at Ohio State. So if the Big Ten team goes undefeated during the playoffs. Now, do I think Indiana's going to? I don't think so. But when you look at these schedules outside of Ohio State, Indiana could. But this 2 ranked teams, and the winner is in position for the second, that second spot. We're assuming, if Wisconsin comes back, we know everything changes, but there's nothing I can do if Wisconsin's not playing football. I can't say a lot about them. So it's an interesting game though. Big test for Indiana. Are they going to supplant Michigan as that other team in the Big Ten? It's possible. A team tries it every year, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we have no idea, but so far they're looking good. Wins are huge. We talk about that all the time. I think that gets overlooked too much in football, just in general. Wins are giant. I know it's so simple, but you have to win. Like, worry about what you look like after you win, not before. So regardless, it's a fun game. Big Ten country. It's interesting. We'll put it that way. It's an interesting game. And then the Pac-12's back. Once again, I apologize for the camera. Yeah, as you can tell, it's irritating me just a little bit. But and if you're listening to this on audio, don't worry about it. Everything's going just fine. So Pac-12's back. Biggest game, Stanford, Oregon. Oregon is the Oregon and USC are the 2 teams that we think have a chance with a really, really short Pac-12 schedule. It's going to be tough on them, but these 2 teams are going to be good. And they have a chance to squeeze their way into the playoff picture if they look really solid. So once again, already Stanford, Oregon's elimination game. The Pac-12 team can't lose. They can't even. I don't even think they can look bad. I'm glad they're playing, but as far as getting into playoffs, it is going to be a struggle. But it's great to have them back. It's just better, when all these teams are in it. Just as a lifelong college football fanatic, it is just so good to have everybody playing and the name brands up there, and I just like to see it, even if it's I want to see a crazy Oregon uniform versus Stanford Cardinal crazy looking tree. All that stuff's just great. It's just great. So yep, we know. So we still got the audio. Anybody watching, I apologize. You're looking at a dot right now. And we're back. I hope everybody can hear me. I had a little technical difficulty there. It's going to sound weird in the audio. It looked weird in the video. Sometimes technology just does not agree with us, but that's all right. That's all right. So essentially, yeah, that was it for the scouting report this week. Really, not a bad weekend overall football. Really looking forward to it. Like I said, especially the cocktail party, Clemson, Notre Dame, been waiting for that all year. High State plays Rutgers this weekend. I'll throw it out there. Of course, Sunday morning I'll be doing the Buckeye Remix, the recap. So yeah, go to Off the Ball Network. Look at everything that the crew is doing. It's we just had some fantasy football stuff come out. We've had some baseball stuff come out. We've had some hockey stuff come out. We've got rankings up there. We've got guys covering the Colts. Yeah, we got Washington football team. I mean, just there's so much stuff coming out of the network every day. I really recommend you go. Check the guys out. Leave a comment. Like I said, the Off the Ball Network right now it's doing great, and it's all about the fans. It's all about our viewers. We love the interaction. We love talking to you guys. The support's been awesome. So yeah, go there. Jeff Needs Sports on all the podcast platforms. You can find me. You can find me anywhere. Go to Facebook at Jeff Needs Sports. My page. It's I'm always available to everybody on Twitter at JHunt006. And that is it for this week's scouting report. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Be kind to each other. I know it's a bit of a unnerving week to say the least, but that's part of what makes us just a little unique for sure. But yeah, just try to be kind to each other. Relax a little bit. Take a breath. Don't be scared to be distracted by a little football. Don't feel guilty about it. Enjoy the weekend. And if it's we asked for it, we got it. Let's try to have a good time and just do the best we can. So, thanks for helping everybody, and we will see you later.